the marriage bill as brought by Honorable Sarah Opendi to the Parliament of Uganda is not solving people's problems. The marriage bill, as tabled on 3rd October 2024, is not solving people's problems. I have a set of proposals which I think are realistic and are responsive to the demands of society in Uganda at the moment. Number one, breach of promise to marry. Why should you promise a person that you are going to marry him or her and you do not? Breach of promise to marry should be punishable in law. You waste someone's time, you lower the reputation of that person in society, you reduce their chances to marry, especially if it is a girl. Breach of promise to marry should be punishable in law. Number two, once you marry and desert in a period of less than 2 years, if you marry and desert, because after 2 years, if you desert, it is a ground for divorce. That one is already catered for. But within the first 2 years of marriage, if you desert, you should compensate. Desertion without a justified cause, I should qualify that. Desertion in the first 2 years of marriage without a justified cause should entitle the other spouse to compensation. If it is a woman who has caused the divorce, this is now proposal number 3. If it is a woman who has caused the divorce, a wife who has caused the divorce, and it is proved in court, then bride price should be refundable at least in the first 6 years of marriage. If there is a divorce and the person who has caused it is the wife, then bride price should be refundable with interest. We don't want thuggery. Should be refundable and also with interest. Proposal number 4. If there is a divorce, the party who has caused the divorce, the spouse who has caused the divorce, should not share in the property more than 20%. I mean marital property. Should not get more than 20% of the share in the marital property. Because now people will be starting marriages, breaking them in order to gain from them. You are the cause. You should not get more than 20% of the marital property. Also, if the spouses have divorced, the house, matrimonial home, the matrimonial home where they live, the principal residential holding where they live, should be left for the children, should not be shared, should be left for the children until the youngest of the children is 18 years. Yes, because if you are there disagreeing in your own things, then you want to affect children. Leave the matrimonial home for the children. You go away, you can even stay in the boys' quarter. Let the matrimonial the home remain for the children until the youngest is 18 years. Then you can come back and share that matrimonial home. Okay? Cohabitation. Also want to talk, before cohabitation, I want to talk about matrimonial property. Property in a marriage. It should be prohibited for a spouse who has no property in the marriage to own property outside marriage. First have property in the marriage, so long as the property is acquired during the pendency of marriage, during the time when the marriage is subsisting. A person should not be allowed, should be prohibited, a spouse should be prohibited from owning property outside a marriage when that person has no property in the marriage. If it ever exists, then that property should be confiscated and brought into the marriage. especially at the time of divorce. You should not go in a marriage. You work hard, you put your property outside the marriage, then you divorce in order to share, and then you go and add to your property elsewhere, which moreover you acquired when you were already in a marriage. Cohabitation. Cohabitation. Every cohabitation should be registered before it bears a child. Yes, you should register it with local authorities, those are LOCs, and Gomborora chief it should be registered as a cohabitation, not as a marriage. Every cohabitation should be registered. Why? Because you produce a child. The Constitution says that a child is a responsibility of the state and the parents. But look, the state and the parents, the state doesn't know the parents. The parents know the state, but the state doesn't know the parents. Why should you reach a level of producing a child in a cohabitation when government, when the state does not know, yet it is supposed to be responsible for the child you have produced? Cohabitations should be registered. Another proposal. If a cohabitation has lasted continuously, underline the word continuously, for 12 years, the person is in that cohabitation should qualify for a certificate of cohabitation. And that certificate of cohabitation should have should entitle them to equal rights and privileges as a certificate of marriage. Yeah, 12 years is a long period. 12 years is a long period. 12 years is a long period. The two should get a certificate of cohabitation, and which entitles them, gives them similar entitlements as a marriage certificate.